The executive director of the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana, Mamie Dubia Champon, says she supports the call to enforce policy limiting the number of children that Ghanaian couples can have to 3. The family planning expert believes the challenges with some social intervention programs are as a result of population growth outstripping the country's resources. We'll be hearing from her and another expert shortly. But first, here is the executive director of the National Population Council, Dr. Letitia Adley-Lapierre, defending her position on the subject.
Well, I think I still stand by it because life is full of caps all over. You know, even your BP has a cap. Your height has a cap. Your weight has a cap. You know, you can decide to go outside the cap and bear the consequences. You know, I don't think that taxpayers' money should be made to support people to have 10 children and then in the process die and leave orphans for us to take care of them. And again, now the last budget that we read, we're talking about a luxury tax. I don't think that if I don't have a luxury car, I'm not earning 10,000. But if I were earning in the luxury tax, I don't think that I would want that money to be spent on somebody who is going to have a 6-7 child. No, I don't think that's how I want my money to be spent. And I don't know if you middle-class people, that's how you want your money to be spent. You know, because seriously, you bear the brunt, most of the brunt. You pay for the free SHS, then you take your children to private schools. You pay for NHIS, then you go to private hospitals because the places are crowded. And as if that is not enough, when there's a problem in your family because you are okay, they look up to you to support. And then if, God forbid, they die, they still come to you to fund that. And then when the woman is going to give birth and unfortunately dies in the process, you, after burying her, they bring the children again to you to take care of. Because human beings, when you leave us on our own, it could be a little chaotic. And for education to work, we need that. You know, there's a woman I know, one of my nephews told me, he's a teacher, and he says there's one woman who has a child in class 1, class 2, up to class 6. The children come to school hungry, and no books, no pen. You cannot get educated on an empty stomach.
Dr. Letitia appeared there. Now, health physician and the man referred to as the father of the family planning in Ghana, Fred T. Sai, supports the call for the enforcement of the policy, but says government must properly sensitize Ghanaians on the importance of family planning.
To make for the people to understand, several things have to happen. You should make education reasonably accessible, which we are trying to do with the SHS program. You should make other information about health and children's health, especially maternal mortality and things like that, easily available. And NHI, when President Kufuor introduced it, was one of the things. Maternity was made free, you remember that. Well, if you make maternity free and you don't make family planning available and set the reasonable, then what you are saying to women is, just have the children. Society, the country will help look after the children, but society will not be able to look after so many children all the time. And the children have to be educated. They have to. So what other countries did was to see to it that, as I said, education was accessible and free. Family planning services and information were very much understood and accessible for everybody. And then the services were free, but they were free for up to a certain number. Singapore, when they did this, if your first 2 children will be having everything free, including maternity care. But after number 2, you have to take care of them yourself. You pay for education and so on. And all she is suggesting is, let's make this a social goal. Let us do the things like education and women's empowerment and so on. But you cannot go on and develop the country with roads and all the things we want to see in the shortest possible time if you make fertility just a number you want anytime.